Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you another way of how to use the Necromancer class against this Rift Mage right here. So I'll mark it for now, and as you can see down here, these are the three moves: Horror, Walking Bomb, and Spirit Mark. These are the three moves that usable moves beside the focus move that comes in the Necromancer class for mages. Now, the way I'm gonna be, I'll be using it, which may be different, but I believe this is the best way that it should be used. Is basically the strategy is you first you use Walking Bomb, or you use Horror. Either one. What you're gonna want to do is you're gonna either first actually you should use Horror. What that does is it'll terrify the enemies in the area, and if you have another Rift Mage such as Solus there. What you should do is set his move of the veil move, that draws them in together into one place. You set that move as his first move, so that's going to be his primary move. Even though it doesn't do damage, it'll draw in enemies and it could weaken them if you upgrade that move. But the strategy is that once they're all in one place, you use Walking Bomb. Now, you don't have to use that other Rift Mage move, but just in case, if you want to make this class even more successful. Now going back to this class, since the enemies are all terrified, what actually ends up happening is, oh whoa, this dragon is following me. What actually ends up happening is that I'll just show you the character breakdown. What happens is that after they're terrified and they're all in one location, once you use Walking Bomb, what it does is it hits one enemy. It says you curse an enemy, inflicting ongoing spirit damage, which is 200% of the damage, and it'll do that for around 10 seconds, which it says 10 seconds, and so that does around 2,000 damage, 2,000 weapon damage, which actually it might seem like a lot, but over time it usually ends up killing the enemy. So before they die, what you want to do is you want to mark them with Spirit Mark. Now this also does spirit damage, so now they'll be terrified for a little bit, and now they'll be taking spirit damage from 2 areas. And so what happens now is that since they're marked with both Spirit Mark and Walking Bomb, they are now able to be hit with both. Once they die, basically they're gonna explode, and there'll be a slave base. They'll basically be your slave fighting for you, that's what makes this class really cool. That especially it works really well with Rift Mages that are with Fade Rifts. That's why I'm showing this to you with Fade Rift. Now, by no means this isn't an easy Fade Rift. These are all level 20 people. So, or level 21 actually. My bad. But oh shoot. So what I'm gonna do right now is, as you can see, it's not really affecting him that much because I'm weakened. But okay, let's see. Let's just hit this guy completely. Now I'm really weakened, so I don't know if you guys saw that. I hit him with both. They're really destroying me in this one. But now let's go. I'll go for the terror right here, just to terrify this guy. And now you see how they're both getting hit by all sorts of damage. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. They're just taking a lot of damage over time. You saw that explosion, and they get knocked to the ground too. That's what makes it extra cool. So Now, the thing is that right now I'm using an ice move, so let's terrify this guy again. Since I'm using an ice wand, it might not seem like it does, but if you look at the spirit damage I'm doing, it's a lot. So this is what I use to do a lot of damage at once. And you know how I was telling you guys before about the way you could use another Rift Mage to help you, but I'm not using that in this video specifically because after you finish the game, apparently Solus, who was my Rift Mage, he leaves. So let's see, where's this guy? Okay, the Fade Rift. I beat this wave. Okay, now. Let's go. Okay, these guys are really hurting me. So, I don't know if you guys just saw it, but I'm gonna be terrified now, everybody. So you see how now everybody is just... Now they're all gonna be in a panic. And this is when I can strike with my... Oh shoot. Okay, he killed me. So this is when I do my... This is when I go for my attack. See now how the Greater Shade became a spirit aiding me? The problem right now is that my another cool thing about the walking bomb is that if you upgrade it, it'll become much more useful than it is already, because what happens is that... Okay, I'm gonna have to... Okay, these guys are getting pretty strong. Okay. Since these guys are despair demons, you want to go for them one by one. Let's do this. Let's just... As you can see now, I marked him, so... But you see how my strategy with the mage is to just stay far away and just fire from here, because what ends up happening is if I go too much into the fight, then everybody just starts to hit me instead of my warrior, and that's what ended up happening. I just got unlucky this time. It's actually a very easy tactic if you know how to use it. You see how these guys are keep... So now that I marked him, now he's gonna fight for me, so... Oh, but... Let's see, now the thing is that everybody's already dead, so, and I can't close the Fade Rift, so I'm gonna just disarm myself. And sometimes what ends up happening is the game won't let you kill them, so I usually use this time to just go collect some loot if any of the monsters drop them, like right here. Oh, I don't see any, so normally it just lets you re-click the button and kill them while they're at it, but so you saw how there might not be any loot, but this strategy becomes really successful because this is actually a really hard battle. This is one of the hardest Fade Rifts in the entire game, but the reason I was able to do it is because it becomes a domino effect. Every monster that dies just explodes and does more and more damage. So that's what I was talking about when I said it upgrades. When you upgrade the move, it'll do a ton of damage. And what ends up happening is after you've marked anybody, then they just keep doing extra damage, and they after they explode they do a lot of damage, and they end up it's basically like turning your enemies against each other. Anyway, since I finished this Fade Rift, thank you guys for watching. Please like and comment and subscribe, and tell me if you want any other class descriptions debriefed. So if you want any rift mages or any other like double dagger rogue, dual dagger rogue, I can do that for you, since my call right here is a dual dagger rogue, slip into the shadows. So thank you guys for watching.